Hey everybody, welcome to Ready Set Drone. Today I'm really excited. I've got B from DRONR. If you haven't seen his work, you should definitely check out DRONR. Great resource for drone pilots and just to learn a lot of good stuff. B is a professional drone pilot who has his Part 107, lives in LA, and is shooting all kinds of videos with his different drones. So stay tuned and we'll talk to him. So hey B, how's it going today?
What's up? It's great, man. How are you?
I am fantastic. First of all, thanks for reaching out to Ready Set Drone and for being on the show today. First of all, I just want to talk to you a little bit about how you got into being a drone pilot.
Oh man, so it actually started almost 4 years ago. I actually saw I was on set. I used to work on Top Gear as a producer, and one of the guys had a Phantom 2 3 years ago. Yeah, he had a Phantom 2, and I saw the controller, and I was like, that looks like a video game controller. And I'm a huge gamer and love video games. And I was like, well, let me give it a shot. Went home and bought a micro drone, and pretty much like just kind of been obsessed ever since, to be honest.
Awesome, awesome. What was your first drone that you bought? Do you remember?
Yeah, my first drone was a Proto X, like ST's Proto X, like a little $30, the micro drone.
I have one. Yep, that was one of my first micro drones that I ever got. I actually got that after I had a Phantom. So I did it kind of backwards, but yeah, love the Proto X.
I love it. It's like super difficult to fly and not crash, but it makes it so that if you could fly one of those little things really well, then the Phantom is just, it's a cakewalk.
Let's talk about that for a second. A lot of people on my channel, I have a lot of beginners that watch my channel, and they're always asking me about, buying a Phantom or buying an Inspire or an Autel or Bebop or whatever. I usually recommend starting with something like a SEMA X5C or some other harder to fly, cheaper drone. What do you think about that?
I'm 100% behind that. That's actually one of the drones that I recommend as a beginner drone as well. Like for me, the advice that I give people when they ask is like, you have to have a drone that you're willing to lose or crash. And also, it's better to have a drone that's more difficult to fly than the one that you don't want to crash. So like you said, the SEMA X5 or the the one I like to recommend because it's even a little cheaper than that is the ST's Proto X, because it's so hard to fly, so hard to control. But if you can really tailor that thing and make it do what you want, then you can be able to fly any kind of camera drone.
What is it that the kind of services that you start off offering in terms of the professional pilot? What do people come to you for?
Well, honestly, I'll say first and foremost, what I do more than anything else is kind of actually consult people. Is that when you're the drone pilot, people are going to be looking to you to understand drone laws, drone insurance, drone permits, and airspace. Like you have to be able to understand that, because they're going to say like, how can I do this legit? How can I do this the way that, I know that we're not going to get in trouble. My production isn't going to get shut down just because you decided to bring a drone or that I wanted a drone. So that's probably what I do more than anything else, is consult production companies, individuals, or entities that are looking to do work that has drones in it.
In terms of that consultative role, when people come to you to fly a drone, do they usually have preconceived notions about what a professional drone is? I mean, I know some people fly with Phantom 3s, Phantom 3 Pro, and do quote-unquote professional stuff with it, or all the way up to, what is it, the S1000, with those big ones that fly with DSLRs and Reds. Yeah. What constitutes professional these days?
That's actually a really good question, to be honest. Like, I think that for me, what constitutes professional is if you're getting paid to do it.
Okay.
That's like, if you're being paid to be a drone pilot, then you are technically a professional drone pilot.
True.
That's what shit a profession, you're getting paid to do it. It really doesn't matter what camera that you really have or what drone you have, because if it gets the footage for the client that they want and they're happy with it, then it doesn't matter. It can be a Phantom 3 professional up to, like you said, a Matrice or S1000. It could be any of those drones flying any kind of camera. If they're happy with the client's happy with the footage, it's getting them what they need at the end of the day, and you're getting paid for it, then you're a professional drone pilot.
Nice.
Outside, of course, a commercial drone pilot if you're obviously certified with 107.
And so, do you get clients that request specific drones, or are you more prescriptive in terms of, hey, I think this would be the perfect one for this because it's indoors or because we need this?
That's interesting. Like a lot of clients that I have, they don't know drones. So they'll just say, I want a drone. And then you'll start saying names of drones, and they'll be like, oh, I may have heard this name before or not. And they'll hear like the word inspired. Like, yeah, I think that's something. But they don't really know. And really what it comes down to normally is budget, to be honest. Because if they're like, they don't have the budget for me to bring out, two operators in a visual observer, then, like, what's the point? I might as well bring my Phantom or something like that.
Right.
It depends on what their needs are, what kind of footage they're shooting, what kind of camera I'm going to be matching to, and obviously, like I said, what their budget is. If they don't have the money to make it so that it's worth it for us to bring out our big toys, then it's just not, it doesn't matter.
What's your default camera setting that you like to fly in terms of frame rate and resolution? Do you do 4K all the time, or do you do 1080 by default, or what do you like?
Typically, I talk, like I said, I know I'm traditionally trained in stuff, like I work mostly on production sets. So normally what I'll do is I'll go and actually speak to the director of photography and say, hey, what do you want for your settings? But if there is no director of photography, they don't know anything about cameras, then I normally work and we color our footage. So I'll normally go and I'll fly at the D-Log for the look of it. I'll fly at 24 frames, normally 4K, so we can actually zoom in on spots that we may or may not want to. It just gives us the play. Most clients, almost 90% of clients that I have, don't actually edit or use or export in full 4K.
Right.
So that just gives us more wiggle room of what we can use and what the image size is going to be. And the shutter speed, we normally do our best to keep it at 50 and have like an ND8 or 16 filter on it.
What is the scariest moment you've had with your drone in terms of, maybe almost losing it or something?
Oh, I'll tell you the story. The scariest moment I ever had was losing a drone, actually. Was one of my first camera drone that I ever bought was a 3DR Iris Plus. I don't know if you know that drone.
Yeah, for sure. I had a Solo for a while, so I'm familiar with 3DR.
Oh yeah, 3DRs, they're a good company. The Iris was at the time, a revolutionary drone, but it had connectivity issues, especially when you're flying in Asia. And I was in Cambodia, and I was flying over some saltwater flats. Of course, it would be saltwater flats. And the drone just decided it was time for it lost signal and decided, you know what, I'm going to land right here. And right here was right over a salt pond. So it's just and it was the worst. It's so excruciating because it's it literally just slowly lowered itself into the salt water and then just decided to die in front of me.
Oh.
There was nothing I can do to stop it. It was a little too far away to be able to get out to it. Actually, I tried to, got out right before it landed in the water. I was right in front of it and just watched my baby crumble in front of it, pretty much.
Were you shooting for a show at the time?
Yeah, I was shooting for the show called Destination Everywhere. It was actually a show that my production company was producing, and it was literally the very last shot on the last day. So if it was a good time to do it, then that was the best time to do it. And we were actually able to save the footage from those shots. So it was the best case scenario of a crash, but it still was terrifying and scary, and it also humbled me because it's just you're not always 100% in control as a drone pilot. You have to remember that, and that was kind of a reminder.
Probably a good lesson to learn early, right?
Yeah, definitely a good lesson to learn early.
So tell me a little bit about DRONR and why people should watch it.
All right, so DRONR, fam, is a community of people who really love drones. We're about everything drone. We actually even put out a weekly thing called DRONR News, where you pretty much are going to get our update on everything that's going on in the drone world that is relevant, that's entertaining, that's crazy, that's amazing, that's interesting. Every week we're putting out a video that it's worth it. It's less than 5 minutes, and it's pretty entertaining. And on top of that, we do drone reviews, we do unboxings, we do, tutorials. We do a lot of stuff. I actually love to watch your channel, and I learn a lot about drones too, and nitpick some of the things you do and say, hey, I probably should talk about that too.
Nice.
It's pretty much all things drone in an amazing way.
Awesome. Well, we'll definitely put a link to DRONR from here, and hope to do some more collaboration with you. Sounds like you got some awesome stuff going on. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more, we've got a link to DRONR, and you'll be able to check that out. And definitely watch B's segment on the Part 107. He has passed the test. He told me it is not trivial. It is actually quite difficult, and so if you're going to take it, then put in the work, but he's got some great resources that you can check out to help you pass. This has been Ready, Set, Drone. Thanks for watching. If you like it, please hit the like button, and we would love for you to subscribe and get more great content on Ready, Set, Drone and also DRONR. Take care. We'll see you next time.